Hello and welcome to BlueTube, where we talk all things blue. And just before I go on, yesterday has been an incredible day. An absolutely incredible day. And any Chelsea fan that's been keeping up to date will know why. There's just been so many stories and it's insane. And I remember 2 days ago when I made my transfer talk, I said that video was probably going to be one of the most interesting transfer talk videos this season. Boy was I wrong. Today is such a big day, so many things happening, and as the title says, we begin with Chelsea hijacking Manchester United's bid for Pedro. And this is an incredible story. There should be a movie written about this, because it is just incredible. I'm going to leave the links to all of these articles down below, and especially this Telegraph article. They mention just everything that Chelsea's done to make this deal happen, with Chelsea's transfer manager going in, having secret talks with Barcelona, Fabregas's girlfriend talking to Pedro's girlfriend, Mourinho calling Pedro. It's an insane story. But in the end, what's important is that Pedro will be coming to Chelsea. It is a done deal. It's not officially announced on Chelsea's website yet, but apparently a deal has been agreed between the two clubs and personal terms have been agreed. All that's left to do is put pen to paper, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happens by tomorrow. And in tomorrow's video, I can be saying to you guys, the deal's done, he's in our team, and he's in the squad ready to play against Crystal Palace. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, because everything is going so fast, and it's brilliant. And as I said, you should definitely read this article, but just to summarize, the Chelsea let me remember the actual name. Where is she? Yes. Granovskaya. She's like the advisor to Roman Abramovich. She's like his right-hand man or right-hand woman. So basically what she's been doing is having secret discussions with the Barcelona, board about, Pedro's availability. And if you guys knew, just 2 days ago, or 3 days ago at the time of this video, Ed Woodward, who was the Manchester United transfer guy, flew to Barcelona to make this deal happen, to finalize the deal. But guess what? We've been having secret discussions with them all along. And not only that, we got permission from the Barcelona board secretly to have for Mourinho and Fabregas to have personal direct calls to Pedro. So Mourinho called him apparently straight after the Manchester City game, and then he's told Abramovich, we need to sign him. And Fabregas called him as well, because they know each other, because they're both Spanish and they both play for Barcelona. And Fabregas' girlfriend apparently called Pedro's girlfriend to convince her how good life was in London. And it's just such an incredible story. But we have signed him. I'm buzzing, if you guys couldn't already tell. It's just, the Twitter has gone crazy. I'm sure you guys are buzzing as well. I'm sure you've heard of this. And just for the fee, what's being reported is a 28 million initial fee, 28 million pounds initially, and a 3 million pound add-on afterwards. And if you ask me, that is more than reasonable for a player of Pedro's caliber. It's really, I think, with modern prices, players like Pedro, someone of his quality, would usually be going for 40 million pounds if he didn't want to leave. Of course, this entire summer, there's been uncertainty surrounding him, and I think that's what's lowered his value. And I think, 30 million pounds or 31 million pounds with add-ons and stuff is a brilliant deal. And really, on Chelsea's board, just to Mourinho, to Abramovich, to Fabregas, to Granovskaya, to everybody who was involved in this hijack, well done, well done. It's just incredible. And Manchester United are just, yeah. if you guys are on Twitter, you'll just notice just the entire Manchester United community just going crazy and going mad. And it is just hilarious to see. I'd advise you to just go check it out if you haven't. But it's just hilarious. And then, this isn't where it stops. This is where it just gets started, right? Because you'd think that would be the highlight of the day, but guess what? Pogba. Paul Pogba might be coming to Chelsea. This whole summer, Chelsea have been quiet. We've done nothing. Chelsea fans have been complaining, me included, saying we need transfers. Our preseason's been bad. We've got battered against Manchester City. But now, just everything, and I do have a theory about this, and there is a conspiracy to this, and I will get onto that theory. It does get really, really interesting. I'll talk about it more at the end when I wrap up all of today's news. But Paul Pogba, apparently, because Pedro is coming to Chelsea, with Mourinho's in-out policy, that could pave the way for Juan Cuadrado to move out. And if you've been up to date with the news, you know that Juan Cuadrado is wanted by Juventus, and apparently Chelsea have been holding secret meetings with Juventus as well over a deal involving Cuadrado plus cash for Pogba. So this gets really, really interesting. There's nothing confirmed here, guys, okay? According to several outlets, Chelsea are interested in Paul Pogba, but there's nothing saying that the deal is done. There's nothing saying that, an agreement has been made. But it is the transfer rumor mill thing is just exploding. It's crazy. And Pogba, I think I said in a previous video that I don't think that Pogba will be moving to Chelsea. I don't see this deal happening. But you know what? Right now, anything can happen. And just the way Chelsea is, the way we've gone about signing Pedro in under 24 hours, it's crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if we signed him. And I really, 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 really just want to sign him. But I don't know where I'm going with this. Yeah, Pogba, he wouldn't be cheap, of course. He would be probably Juan Cuadrado plus, something crazy like 50 million cash. But I think that could solve our problems. Because Pedro coming in, he filled that right-hand flank, the hole that we had there. Pogba comes in, the defensive midfield role, it's done. We're done. All we need is probably a striker. But Pedro can play there as well. So our team's completed. We're ready for Premier League. We're ready for the Champions League. We're ready for whatever comes our way. I think, honestly, if we sign Pogba, I wouldn't be scared of going against anybody. I'd be confident that Chelsea can come out of a win against any team in European football. And that includes Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and I think that's basically it. Yeah, and Atletico Madrid. I wouldn't be scared if we're against them. If we had Pogba, Pedro, Hazard in our team and Costa back in form, just imagine the destruction, just the pure demolition that we can achieve. It's just going to be insane. It's just insane. I think I've just gotten way too excited about this. But it is an exciting day for us, and Pogba could be coming, and I'm happy. And let's just get back to some of the older stories. Of course, the Pogba-Pedro deal, that kind of exploded in the last 24 hours, but there have been deals by Chelsea, for this whole transfer window, and one of them has been John Stones. And I talked about this a lot for the last, few videos, and especially in last transfer talk, I said that I really hope we don't sign John Stones because Everton are holding out for 40 million pounds. And I said instead we should sign Antonio Rudiger, who's a German centre-back who looks very, very promising. But he has gone on loan to AS Roma. Antonio Rudiger, he's gone on a 1-year loan to AS Roma with an option to buy him, let me just check, for around 6 million pounds. That's insane. And to be fair, this is, I don't know how reliable the source is because this isn't really my usual go-to source. But that's what they're reporting. And if Chelsea could have pulled it off, I would have been incredibly happy. But this does pave way to some exciting news. And that is a fourth bid for John Stones, maybe. And this gets really, really interesting because we've been chasing him all summer. We had a 20 million pound bid rejected, 25 million pound bid rejected, a third bid around 30 to 35 million pound bid rejected. And apparently what Chelsea are doing now, what Mourinho is doing, is playing the waiting game. He is trying to make John Stones have a formal declaration of his desire to leave. I think he wants John Stones to tell the Everton board, look, I love the club, but I want to go to Chelsea. And that'll bring his price down. And I think that's what Chelsea are waiting to do, or at least that's what's being reported by I forgot the name, the Telegraph, yes. And they are a very reliable source. And it does seem like Chelsea will be going to John Stones, going for John Stones. And I've expressed my opinions on this before. I've said I don't really want him. And I think 40 million is way too overpriced for him. But Mourinho seems to see something in him that I don't see. He seems to see, a future captain of the club or whatever he sees in him, he values him at £40 million. And it does seem like Chelsea will be making a fourth bid around £40 million for John Stones. And if Everton turn that down, they are just crazy, because I'm pretty sure even they know that £40 million is overpriced for John Stones. Even if he's English, even if he's young, even if he's homegrown, I'm sure they know. Roberto Martinez has to know in his heart that £40 million is an absolutely amazing deal from Everton's perspective. And as a Chelsea fan, I think it's overpriced. But I would be very, very happy, to be honest. I would be very, very happy for a player of John Stones' quality to join Chelsea. We have had defensive fragilities. I do think he could be the man to come in and make that difference. I do think, even though I think he's overpriced for £40 million, I would be happy to see him come. And just, if you think about it, this whole transfer window has been so quiet so far. And suddenly, Pedro for £30 million, Pogba for £60 million or £50 million plus Quadrado or something, and John Stones for £40 million. It's just going crazy. And as I said, there is a little conspiracy theory to this, and I'd like to explain it to you now. I want to hear your thoughts on this as well. And then it's just a theory, and it's nothing confirmed. It's nothing, it's not being publicized by media or anything. But it's just a thought that I have, and it's a thought that other Chelsea fans share as well. And let me tell you this. Last season, immediately from day one of transfer window, we said we need a striker, we need a midfielder, we need a left back. What did we do? In like the next 2 weeks, Diego Costa signed, Fabregas signed, Felipe Luis, done, and then that was our window done. That was it. We were ready to go. And this season has been completely the opposite. Mourinho said right from the beginning, I'm happy with my squad, we don't need anyone. And all he's done is replace Czech with Begovic and bring in Falcao to replace Drogba. Nothing else. It's been that simple. Nothing else. We've had a terrible preseason. There's been a lot of negative publicity. We've drew against Swansea, a disappointing result. We got thrashed by Manchester City 3-0. And I think my theory is that Chelsea have all staged this. This was all planned. Because we're the current champions, because we've dominated the league so convincingly last season, I think what Mourinho thought was, look, if we go out and buy a bunch of quality players right from the beginning of the transfer window, then what the other teams are gonna do is try to match what we do. They're gonna go out and spend more. They're gonna spend millions and millions of pounds on quality players, world-class players from all around Europe. So instead, I think what he's doing is just saying, I'm happy with my squad, even though he's not, just to give our title rivals that kind of assurance. So if you're Manchester City, you're thinking, you know what, we might not have to spend as much as we thought, because Chelsea aren't strengthening. This league might not be as tough as it may seem. And Arsenal's thinking, we might not need to sign anyone. In fact, Arsenal hasn't really signed anyone. They've signed Czech, but that's it. Manchester United, they have signed quite a few players. But, that could have gone in their mind as well. I'm thinking, Chelsea haven't signed a lot of players. Maybe we don't need we don't need to have that urgency of signing players as well. And I think Mourinho's kind of played his mind games so perfectly there. And our preseason was bad. And I think that the badness of our preseason and the badness of our last two games kind of played to our hand. And I feel like, I don't want to say that Mourinho staged the draw against Swansea and staged the loss against City, because knowing Mourinho, he wants to win every single game no matter what. But the fact that we didn't strengthen in the transfer window, that we didn't buy anyone, that Mourinho kept insisting that he's happy with the current squad, I think that played into our mind of our title rivals. And what Mourinho did was, he looked and he said, okay, Man City's bought Sterling, Man U's bought blah blah blah, Arsenal's bought Petr Cech. And now we have 2 weeks left, and we're saying, look, we've got the financial clout to go and buy whoever we want. And we've seen what our rivals have done, so now let's go and buy whoever we need to compete against them. And it's absolutely genius. And apparently, you know how last week, the entire media, the global media, was focused on Eva Carneiro, was focused on, Mourinho's an evil, sexist guy, and Eva Carneiro deserves to be on that bench, and that was everything that everybody could talk about. And apparently that was staged as well. Apparently, I said apparently like 20 times there, but it's because this is just a theory. But apparently, that was all planned, and Mourinho did that not to take the attention off the Swansea game, but to take the attention of Chelsea's transfer activities. And secretly, behind the scenes, we were talking to Juventus, we were talking to Barcelona, we were trying to make things happen with Pogba, Pedro, you know, whatever the thing is. We've been secretly doing that. And if that is the case, it is absolutely genius. And you know what? I think what would confirm this is if Eva Carneiro is on that bench against West Brom. I think I said Crystal Palace earlier this video, but we're against West Brom this Sunday. If against West Brom, imagine Eva Carneiro sitting on that bench. I think that would just prove that this whole thing was staged. The whole Eva Carneiro thing was staged. And Mourinho is just truly a mastermind at life. And you know what? I'm just buzzing. I'm happy. As a Chelsea fan, I couldn't be happier. Really, this whole window I've been asking for transfers. And there's 2 weeks left of this window. And Chelsea have just blown up. We've gone crazy. We've gone all out. Abramovich is just writing checks left, right, and center. It's a very, very happy time to be a Chelsea fan. You know, even though disappointing preseason, we've only gotten 1 point in 2 games. We got thrashed by our title rivals. But I think that could have been a blessing in disguise. And looking back at it, I think I'm very, very happy that Manchester City thrashed us. Pellegrini, if you're watching this, thank you so much. Because really, I think if it wasn't for that loss, or if we've gotten, you know, a 1-0 loss, you know, it might have not sparked a huge reaction. The fact that we got thrashed 3-0, that's what's provoked this violent reaction. You know, go hijack Pedro, go buy Pogba, bid 40 million for Stones. Money is no object. We are just gonna do whatever it takes to strengthen our squad, compete on all 4 fronts this season. And really, if we can pull off these signings, I think we have a really, really good chance of doing the treble. And, you know, it's a big thing for me to say, but I really do think it could happen. It's a very, very exciting time to be a Chelsea fan. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. For any Chelsea fans out there, even if you're not a Chelsea fan, for Foot Flash, if you're watching this, even if you're a gooner, tell me what you're thinking of this. I really want to know. I'm excited. And before I just get overexcited and just keep rambling on for another hour, let me end the video here. Thanks for watching, guys. It's an incredible day. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be reporting to you that the Pedro deal is official. He's put pen to paper. It's on the Chelsea website. But we'll see what happens. I will be back with another transfer talk tomorrow. And until then, stay blue.